Welcome. This is FFA Masters League Season 30 and it's another day and another match. And more precisely, it's the last match of round 3 with 2 subs, unfortunately. So, yeah, hopefully it's going to be a nice match nonetheless. And it's an interesting map here that we don't see too often. Many players don't really like it, and it has some imbalances, but I think it can be quite fun. But we'll discuss that in a minute. Unfortunately, like, it will be a monologue again of myself, as I couldn't find a co-caster for tonight. So yeah, it's only me, and I hope that's okay. We will draft the matches for round 4 after this, and everything's set up and prepared. So also looking forward to that. And with that, let's dive into the game. So we start here at the top left starting spot with Mock from Arizona. Night Elf player, usually goes for Tinker, is not really active these days, but still needs to be taken seriously. So not entirely sure if he really trained this map or not. So we'll see that in a second. To his right, the second regular player in this match is Godfather from Bulgaria, with usually either Orc or Undead. Godfather, I'd say I mean, he should try hard because he's like a regular player here, but he's also pretty good. So he definitely has a good chance to win this, and he spawns in a decent spot here. So I think this corner spot is particularly well protected here. So I think it's the best the best spawn here. No spawn here, and here the first sub is ToX from Germany, random player, pretty good, but has a tendency to suicide. So I told him right before the match to please not suicide for getting teamed or something. And he had some fights against Arni, who is the second sub here, from Finland, also random player. And I'm very interested to see if Arni will go for a revenge attack onto ToX here, since like he fought very well on Freezing Field in this round in their match that ToX actually won with a impressive base race against Feta. Although, like, he should have lost it, but Feta couldn't finish the Necropolis on 7 HP. So if you haven't seen that one, you should definitely check it out on YouTube, or the clips that are stored on Twitch also. So yeah, Arni played very well in that one. Also with Night Elf, and I think with Dark Ranger too. Yeah, I think it was Dark Ranger. Okay, yeah, it was Dark Ranger. So he played it. He played it very well. Human was undead in... sorry, ToX was undead in that one. So, yeah, not sure if he can do the same against Human. And he is going for the laboratory creep here. And that's the advantage of these 2 spawns here, at least of the northern spawns, that you have much better access to laboratories. And that's a big downside of this map, that you have these 2 laboratories here that are not that well protected, but they can be quite difficult to reach for players that spawn far away. Like, each player has his own island here that is only accessible via this one bridge here. So it can be quite a long walk from a main base towards these laboratories, and I don't see ToX getting a shredder here. Furthermore, it's a bit similar with the with the shops here, so also not as easily accessible. And the two mid mines usually like take it for some minutes, but then killed again. So I've rarely seen a match here where any player managed to keep one of these mid mines for long. So this is a much easier expansion to secure. And Mok already level 3, almost level 4 with this creep, I guess. Okay, not quite, but decent items. And we told Mok several times that rockets are able to attack air units now, and I'm still not sure. Last round he didn't skill it still. I don't think there's any reason not to, unless you... Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to skill rockets ever, so it's just such a great skill. And I'm not sure if he's just not used to it yet, or if he forgot, so... curious to see. And... Ani maybe misclicked, or it's Manip, but... he went for Beastmaster second. Which is not a good hero against... I don't think it's good against anything, except like it's a good hero for scouting and for base race, but it's a horrible hero in air fights. The Hawk can be quite nice against some units, but yeah, may lose him the game here. I like that he went for this early Tree of Life. And in the meantime, ToX going for Archmage, Godfather, usual Blade Master, fast tech. So he got the Shredder, obviously, and where's his second Shredder here? Did Arnie get it? Nice early mid creeping here by Mok. And I still can't find the Shredder here, so... And I can't hear it either. But someone bought it. So this one... What did... Ah! ToX stole it. Nice. So Orc needs it most desperately. But also for human, it's nice to have this Shredder. Like, it's nice for every race, but I think with Night Elf... you can overcome it most easily. With human and UD, it's doable, but yeah, with Orc you definitely need a Shredder wherever there is one. And Mok gets both of these mid creeps here, so that's a lot of experience. I'm not sure if Godfather may go for the steal here. But it's uphill, so he might not be able to see it. Early expansion here in the middle. And Mok even got a Staff of Silence, so if he can micro this staff, it's definitely one of the strongest item, and maybe the strongest he can find on this map. ToX quite late with the second expansion. He could have taken this one much earlier, I think. So if we compare it here, these expansions are running for quite some time already. So this one, 500 gone, 500 gold gone. So ToX will have like a 1k disadvantage probably in mining, which is no big deal, but still, I don't think it's a necessary delay here. And he has the lumber, so... And Arnie's expansions are protected very well here. So that's a bit of a tricky thing about Mok's expansions, that he has two of them in the middle. Like obviously he is surrounded, so no, not much. Yeah, no, not many expansions to choose from here, but yeah, that's tricky. So these expansions fall quite quickly, and they do have the same size as these outside ones.
Forces are under attack.
So Godfather is getting his level 4 here. He has a tiny Great Hall, so I'm curious to see where he may put it. And ToX maybe engaging here, so could be an indicator that ToX is going to fight against Godfather and Mok against Arnie, which would be an interesting one-on-ones on both sides. And Arnie going for Alchemist third.
A player's forces are under attack.
And no more creeps left here. Like, not a single creep camp left, from what I can see. And Mog really wants to get his third level. He has one creep camp. And Mog really wants to get level 3 on his panda, which is really key before you take the first engagement. And Godfather, yeah, that's what I meant. So he will get this one for sure. Okay, Gentleman ToX cancels the expansion. And ToX and Mok needs to make sure he's scouting. He's scouting enough. Like he's not scouting at all, and especially if you have someone who like picked the inferior heroes, Mok should know that he's very vulnerable here. So not only is his expansion very open here towards Arnie's main base, but in addition, Arnie has heroes that basically force him to attack quite early and with a surprise factor, simply because it will be much more difficult for Arnie to fight against this hero combo in like straight up air fights. So he is going for Drides, which I think is a good call here, and Mok instantly reacting with Fairy Dragons, which is a good counter, but you need way more than just 3, so you will probably need like 9 in order to counter 7, 8 Drides. Nice silence here, so he can't detonate, and Mok going for the counter attack here, which will be level 3 for the panda, so this was quite key here for him. Although his panda will be rather useless against these Strides, but still, like, you want level 3 on your panda, and kills this expansion, and I think Arnie could have TP'd in time, maybe even. So he needs to TP anyways, or he will lose the second expansion also. So I'm not quite sure what Arnie was waiting for. He's supply blocked, so he's lacking some wound wells. In the meantime, ToX up to 5k gold, and they're still hoarding on the right side, and first engagement here, no way Mok can fight this, so Mok up to 80 supply. Yeah, and Mok Yeah, Mok has an army now, so this is a very decent army. So I'd say it's almost a perfect army against this army here. And yeah, that's where it becomes really tricky. And on one hand, I like the Drides, but on the other hand, if you don't use your Drides to attack into the enemy main base on this map, it's not easy to defend with Drides. Like, you need these hippos. So Ani countered the counter, and needs to be a bit careful to not get the breath of fire on his hippos. So well done by Ani. But difficult situation here. So what's he doing with the hippos? Oh. Yeah, so Ani waiting here with his army. I think he should like stick with his hippos in this area. Put them on hold here maybe. And just attack with his army. So his army is useless here. So he can't defend really. And arguably it was his bad to place his Tree of Life here and not here. So it would have been way easier for him to defend this if it was here. So I'm not sure if I would blame this map necessarily. Like, there are many maps where you have a rough time defending with Drides against Chimera, so. Okay, and Godfather going for the first attack here, 75 supply. ToX going for tanks here, but these tanks, where's his army? Like here. What are these tanks doing? Like, he's just sacrificing 3 tanks for free here? And they're not attacking either, so nice tiny Tome of Experience here for Godfather, but no big deal. And ToX just idling here with his army, so I'm not sure if he like wants to wait for more supply still, but he's just staying here, so. Is he AFK? Kind of looks like it. Like, he's not moving at all. Now he's moving. Finally. So, just lost him 1 expansion, 3 tanks. Maybe even 2 expansions. So that was a great timing by Godfather. He couldn't know it, so easy easy time for Godfather here. And I mean, yeah, how should Godfather know? So not his bad.
A player's forces are under attack. A town is under siege.
He threw a glass at his head. Okay. Not sure what that means. So Ani going for the attack here with his Ani going for an attack here with his Drides, but he needs to like push into this, or it will be like, it just costs him too much time here to defend. Like, I like that he's chasing the ferries here with his hippos, so that's some time for him. Almost a surround here on the panda. Can you do it? Ooh. Yeah, Mok isn't controlling, so will he use the invul? No invul. It's not looking too bad still for Mok. Ani has only 1 Chimera and no corrosive breath still, so it will cost him way more time to kill buildings here than Mok. And Godfather going for the attack here. on ToX main base. And Godfather playing it very safely, like very well. Like he drops a bit in supply. I think he could start to pump again. And he has like not great levels, but he's killing stuff here, so needs to be careful. Nice invul transfer here. Oh, he invul on all 3 heroes at the same time. Not sure if I've ever seen that. Should have passed the TP to the Shadow Hunter, maybe? Ah, he could try to go for it. Ooh. Wow. Can't believe that ToX let all 3 heroes get away. I think he could have at least killed the Shadow Hunter. And now Arnie pushing into the main base here. And I think Mok could have gone for hippos earlier, just to counter the hippos of Arnie. And he needs to use his fairy dragons on the Dryades, I feel. Like, yeah, it's a waste here, and now you can't just fly them into these hippos. So starting to look very grim for Mok here. Like, not sure why he's staying in this. He has 2 hippos, but he needs way more. And he lost 1 Ancient of Wind, so he has only 3 left, which isn't enough to really get sufficient amount of hippos. So it will take him, or it would have taken him a bit more time here to get enough of them. And this might be almost it for Mok. Like, he has 2k gold still, but his heroes are not very strong. And this is like, on this map you can't really get away. Like, there's no laboratory close to your main base where you can buy a Zeppelin, so he may, no, he's not even TPing out. So this is a very good fight for Arnie, and very nice by Arnie to transition into hippos that early. So yeah, so level 7 Dark Ranger, crazy.
Player's forces are under attack.
Arnie needs the 3rd defense upgrade. So it's looking really, really good for Arnie. He is going for another expansion here. He should go for that one rather quickly. But he has decent levels, like almost level 5 Beastmaster. And Godfather taking the fight here against Griffin tanks. And the tanks feel quite useless. Like, they can't even exit this main base, so very nice block here by Godfather. Not sure if he intentionally, yeah, he intentionally blocks it, so very smart here, smart play. And yeah, Godfather is just toming these units here. He will just kill them all. And I'm like, ToX, is he AFK again? He's not really controlling them. And he's down to 1.6k, so this may turn into a very quick game. Should kill these peasants here.
A player's forces are under attack.
Did ToX? No, now I will tank, okay. I mean, ToX is controlling something still, but he's not doing much. Like, he has these 2 peasants here, and he has some harvesting lumber here. This expansion almost out of gold, so ToX is in a really bad spot, and he's not even reviving his heroes, so again, this is like what I was discussing with Doof. He's not called Dufiki, right? He's called Dovki? Dovki? No clue. I will just call him Dufiki. And he was talking about that yesterday on stream, that he dislikes the way competitive FML matches are played sometimes, like with these balancing three-ways. And I still really can't get my head around like an alternative solution to that. Eventually, like, you will end up in a three-way if you start the match with 4 players and want to end up with just one. At some point, there's a high chance you will have 3 players in game. And in this situation, like, we still have 4 players in game, but it's a perfect scenario for this, because on one hand, I'm not sure Arnie has a reason to piece here. Like, he's not super strong still, but it's not easy in this situation for Arnie, nor is it for Godfather to really predict who will finish his enemy quicker. Like, on one hand, Mok is Night Elf, so he should be able to hide better and stay out on the map. On the other hand, like, human with farms also not that easy to finish, and I'm not sure like if either Mok or ToX is really trying hard. Like, if one of these players would be someone like Grady or Eshan, it would be obvious that like you need to kill every single building to really get them out of the game. But in this case, you don't really know if they will even try to rebuild. So neither Godfather nor Arnie seem to piece here. I'm not sure. Arnie might be thinking about it. Like, if he had scouted, like, he's not scouting very well, so he didn't split his hippos to scout for Mok's remaining buildings. So I'm not sure Arnie will finish Mok anytime soon here. So potentially Mok is just leaving at some point. But at the moment, Mok still in game, and I'm not even sure Godfather has like any reason to save Mok. So I think Mok or Godfather, if he scouts, he can be pretty happy about his hero levels and pretty confident to beat Arnie. Obviously, Dark Ranger 6 is quite difficult to face. Like, you will just lose units over and over. But overall, this hero combination should be killable by Orc heroes, especially since Alchemist 3rd is under-leveled usually, and like, he has only 2 armor at this point, so he didn't find any ring of protection. So with well-leveled Orc heroes, you should be able to defeat these heroes. And Godfather is still on 1, 2, 3. So Godfather has plenty of expos. Shouldn't fall into the trap of just like hoarding. I think he could make this a quick game, or turn this into a quick victory for him. Yeah, so ToX is out of this one, and yeah, Mok will be able to stay alive a bit longer, but I'm not sure he has a chance in this, or a big chance in this. And I don't think Godfather should fight this here. Yeah, needs to be careful here. At least he gets a bear, loses 1 Tauren last second. So curious to see if Arnie is piecing with Mok now, or if he will still try to finish him, which at this point, like, would just cost Arnie a lot of time to fight both. Yeah, Mok had no choice in this situation to yeah, he needed to piece Arnie. And as he writes, he doesn't trust anyone. And now Bet's coming in. Nice attack here by Godfather. And high crits here, so his Blade Master not stacked at all. He has basically no items. I think he needs to buy an Invul, not available right now, so can't. Oh, he didn't drop the orb. And again, almost losing his Blade Master here, so he needs some items. Like, I think if it's only circlets, like two circlets, a Pariapt or something, better than nothing. Maybe boots, but he has 7k gold and his heroes are so like empty, or have entirely empty inventories. He had not much time to really go shopping, but he needs items. Like he needs speed scroll, he needs with 7k gold against Dark Ranger and like at least the Alchemist is not level 6 yet, but against Dark Ranger your heroes become even more important as you will just lose units over and over, so you need to invest here, or it's more efficient to just stack your heroes with items. And yeah, I don't really like that at this point, so he is going down to 50, which I think it's an okayish call. Like Arnie has only Dryads. I think he has not a single Chimera left, so it's not a bad call. Like Arnie will just take forever to kill these expansions here, and it's probably efficient for Godfather to stay on 50, even if he loses one mine after another, if it just takes long enough. But it will prevent him from finishing this quickly, so I'm undecided whether I like this move to go 50 now. Mok, like he knows Mok is on 50 and has some gold probably, so the longer Godfather waits, the longer or the more gold he will be up against. Like Arnie plus Mok can mine more gold in can mine more gold combined than he can, even if he's on 50 here. And he's just, with 50 supply, he's just going straight up for this main tree. And like obviously he does it to lure back Arnie into this main base, but Arnie wants to kill this expansion first. And don't think he has skilled Blade Storm, or he... Well, that would be interesting if Arnie loses his main tree here. Yeah, no, he doesn't. Yeah, so Godfather just lost this one expansion. Arnie TP'd back, but he's not really getting advantage. Is getting any advantage here by staying 50. Like he gathers some more gold, but he is up to 80 now, and Arnie saw him being on 50, and ToX is alive still. So okay. Yeah, ToX has no peasants left, so yeah, still 1.5k. So that was a short return of ToX. I don't think ToX is the worst sub. I also don't think he's the best one. But I think in this game, like, he had a straight up one-on-one. He didn't really suicide, so it's like, well, he didn't suicide. It was just a straight up loss. But also he didn't feed too much, so I'm okay with him. Like the current situation, I'm okay with 3 players that try hard and that have a chance still. Mock up to 12k gold, so at some point they... Like, he's taking so much time here, but on the other hand, like, he has basically a main base but split up, which can be very tricky. And again, Godfather just with his heroes here, so he's just here to force Arnie here and harass with his bets, and apparently he managed to kill the Tree of Eternity, so Arnie needs to run here or TP to his expansion. So very annoying for Arnie here. If Godfather splits it, not even the Alchemist will... Yeah, he's not splitting his bets, so Acid Bomb would deal quite some damage. Yeah, okay. He does now. Oh, and he's flying in with his chimeras. So that was a nice attack here, and yeah, I mean that's the disadvantage when killing someone's main base. Like it's tricky. It's tricky to just kill a main tree with bats and then just ask for and nicely ask for peace right after. So you can really weak someone so much that he's forced into peace. But in this situation, like, Arnie still has a decent amount of gold, so I'm not sure he has to peace yet. And Mog is up to 15k gold, but 15k gold is not that much more compared to 8k gold if your hero levels are that low. So level 2 keeper just dies within seconds. And Godfather pretending to be weak here, but he is like the strongest, not least due to his heroes. He has way higher hero levels here, so Arnie on 754 and ToX on 755. Okay, not that much of a difference, but still, yeah. This Beastmaster just feels way more useless, and Alchemist level 4 is just way weaker than Shadowhunter level 5. So Godfather should keep the upper hand here if he uses his bets well. Nice betting. So that was a very nice betting. But this Shaman for Arnie is doing really nice work here, and yeah, there are no Spirit Walkers here to dispel, so that makes it much more difficult for Godfather to fight this. Like, yeah, nice big bad voodoo. So well done here, and no mana on the Dark Ranger to silence, but needs to be careful here. Oh, last second heal. It's losing his Shadowhunter here, so very unfortunate. Stayed in Big Bad Voodoo for a bit too long, so I think he could have tried to run away. And yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate loss here. Godfather dropped to 50 supply, but he has only this expansion left. This one just dropped to Mog, and yeah, Mog might get a bit greedy here on this expansion.
Forces are under attack.
It might even make sense to finish Mok entirely. Like, obviously he's pretty much alive right now and has by far most gold, but they should be able to finish him still. He has some units here, but they could easily just kill all these buildings here, and
A town is under
Mok
siege.
would become supply block very quickly. And now they team Mok, which I think is a good call, and totally makes sense. Like Mok here was left alone for a long time here. Not sure if they really guess, or if they would guess correctly how much gold he has, as he had so few mines. Like, yeah, this one, and this one for a long time, but in combination with the other ones that he mined earlier, he managed to get quite a bank. So 17k, and at some point it becomes at some point it becomes tricky. But we saw that before, and I think it was even Mok in one of the previous rounds. Like, you don't, yeah, gold in the bank is not necessarily taking you to victory if you never really use it. And again, last second TP, 17 supply, losing a tower in here, and asking Mok for gold will not like do the trick here. So Manip against Manip here.
Under attack.
So if Mok loses all these buildings, it's, yeah, going to mean he needs to build another few moonworlds here, some additional Ancient of Wind. So yeah,
A town is under siege.
can't really keep this alive. I just wonder, in this situation, I think it would be wise for Mok to get an army. Like, he has the protection buildings, he has the moonworld, so why not just get an army and try to fight at least? So they will not, like, as we just saw, they will not just let him stay alive without units on that much gold. So I think he could as well just get an army and try to fight here.
Forces are under
Like, that's his
siege.
best chance to get levels, and the longer he waits, the longer it will take, or the less valuable his gold is going to be. So nice towers here. So Arnie playing the most active role here, which I like. So I think Arnie's playing it well. Needs to, yeah, needs to make sure he doesn't overcommit on Godfather. But on the other hand, like, Godfather's main base is still, like, pretty impressive here with this tower line. Will not be easy to break for Arnie, so it will take some additional attacks here. And these Dryads are just not very valuable at some point, or become less valuable the higher the Orc heroes will go. And again, nice betting. Oh, nice staff. That Alchemist almost instantly died, so yeah, and he just killed these two Tyrants that were charmed before. So like that, they basically turned into, like, Tome of XP here. And I'm not sure, like, Mok chooses the right strategy here. So it seems pretty pointless in my eyes to just stay 50. He won't kill anything here, so he's just going for the harassment. And like, either he just sits and does nothing, but he even aggros against these players. So I think he should just get an army now. Like, 16k gold, why isn't he, like, okay, he is getting an army now, but why doesn't he fight? So Nice betting here. Arnie staffed out 1 or even 2 cameras, didn't see it. But good fight here. Good fight here for both, but Mok interrupting. Oh, and that Blade Storm is killing everything here. So that was an amazing Blade Storm, killing at least 3 Dryads. And needs to TP out now. So Mok backstabbing here, and I'm not sure why they are allowing Mok to just do that, to just lurk around the map and backstab. So they should force him to just use his gold straight up, and he's an easy tome with these. Like his Tinker got to level 6, but still, like it would be the easiest way to get experience here, and for that reason, I think it could make sense for either of these players to just fight Mok and force him to spend his gold. He even admitted that he's on 10k while he was on 17k, but Godfather down to 3.7k gold. Mok still on 13k. Arnie 7k. So Godfather in a tough spot here, but his heroes should be strong enough to defend. And as we see here, like the buffed spikes are doing a lot of damage against this Tinker. So Tinker with his, how's it called? I think Boom or something? His additional building, Kaboom. His additional building attack damage, or attack damage against buildings, and that's like return damage through these spikes, and that quite hurt. So almost lost my Tinker a few times there. So you need to stop attacking early enough, and it can be more useful to just go for rockets and factories instead of auto attacks on buildings. So definitely makes a difference against ground attack. Double shredder here.
Town is under siege.
And Mok never really attacked Arnie, so Mok is attacking Godfather for quite some time now, and should stop like soon if he doesn't want to turn this into a free win for Arnie. Because even with 12k, I'm not quite sure he will ever be able to fight this. Like, obviously, if Keeper gets to level 6, it becomes much better. But for now, I think Arnie, despite his worst, like his lack of AoE damage against air, with Acid Bomb should be able to fight this. Doesn't have any hippos yet, and he just leaves the game. So interesting to see this one-on-one. So feels a bit bad for Godfather, but yeah, he should have weakened Mok maybe at some point instead of attacking Arnie over and over. I think he tried to piece too late, and at some point, like, he was appearing very strongly in all these fights against Arnie, so that probably led Mok to the conclusion that Godfather was the one to be teamed. And also by counting Expos, I think Mok should have known that, or could have known that Yeah, I think countering fairies with hippos is the best option. Panda is not level 5 yet, so
Town
um,
is under siege.
yeah, so we'll see how this fight works out. I think Arnie needs more hippos if he wants to fight this. So nice fight here by Mok, but his heroes can barely stay alive. Oh, last second invul here. And so lucky to keep all his heroes alive. That was very, very close. And Arnie on 83 supply against Mok, still 99. So none of the players really lost something. They only went for the hero focus. And Arnie definitely needs more hippos before fighting this. I'm not sure why he took that fight. Like, he might have been able to take it here over these moonworlds, but he was surely not ready for this fight here, so not quite sure why he did that. And he has so many chimeras, so he against all these anti-air units and also fairies, I think he needs 100 supply, like full. And like now, if he gets, yeah, if he kills some wisps maybe, I don't know. Like, he needs way more hippos to fight this. So I'm not sure I agree with Ponte here. I think hippos are the right call, but yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why he's taking this fight here. Like, it's just stupid. Like, obviously you can't fight with 3 hippos against 10 hippos, so really a bad engagement here. But still, like, this is not over yet. Losing, oh, just barely keeping his alchemist alive. And this is just, yeah, very sloppily played by Arnie. So he has tricky heroes to fight with, and like, he could also decide to play a bit more passively here and just go for one charm after another against chimeras. But he just can't take a straight up fight if he's not ready yet. And I think in a straight up fight, it may not even be a huge deal that he's up against Tinker Panda, as like Tinker, did he use rockets? Didn't check in the last fight, but maybe he hasn't even skilled rockets. But even if he has, like, acid bomb should be able to counter that partially. So and also obviously he has silence against Panda, so I definitely think Arnie should be able to win a fight, but he still has too much. He's going for mass drides now, so I'm really not sure. Like, drides suck so hard against fairy dragons, against Panda, Earth, Storm, and Fire, which will be available in a now. And also Factory is amazing against Drides, so I really don't like this call. Drides, probably, I think maybe the worst unit he could mass now, instead of just investing his last gold into some hippos. On the other hand, yeah, okay, maybe not the worst call. I thought he had 2k left, but he's down to 300 gold, so it's his last army. In that case, maybe Droids are okay. Yeah. Maybe Mountain Giants would have been even better. Like, 3 Mountain Giants and then just some Droids for Dispel? I don't know. But this is Mok's game to take. He's on 9k gold left, so I don't see Mok losing this. So Godfather basically gifted this victory to Mok. by just leaving. And yeah, they needed to team him a bit earlier. It was 3-way for quite a long time, and they never went on Mock. And Mock wasn't even like, usually Grady in that situation would just, like Grady would just play more defensively, I think, if he's really that far behind. But Mock didn't even do that, so he just went for these expos. And they never went on him. So one Dryad, so nice focus here of Arnie on the Dryads, but he's just losing too much. Like, his heroes all about to die, and Fairy Dragons are having an easy time killing these Dryads. So curious to see if Godfather has top score still. So quick game, 57 match game. Top score for Godfather, so definitely not by far, but I think deserved top score here for Godfather. So he will get +4 points for being in the top spot. So he will get 16 points. Mock will get 22 because of the 20 points for victory, +2 points for second place here. Arnie and ToX as subs won't get any points. So interesting match, and I found it quite entertaining. Felt a bit sad for Godfather, but maybe he could have played it a bit differently, but it's easier said than done. Like, Orc in this situation, just not easy to play against elves. As we just saw, like, he had not really stacked his heroes well. I think it was a mistake by Godfather to just go for more Torrents. He lost a lot of units to Charm, so I think he could have invested more gold into items and just try to team Mock earlier and not attack Arnie over and over. But yeah, it was tricky in this situation.